Alrighty, guys. Hopefully, I'm coming in loud and clear. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. This is Anything and Everything, episode 3. And today we are giving away a hoodie to one of you lucky watchers, one of you lucky viewers. It's exactly like this one here. I don't know if you can see it. Says Sleuth Crew, we are everywhere. It's an extra large. I was waiting for another shipment of hoodies to come in that's a dark gray, and they're kind of 50-50 between the white logo and a black logo over dark gray, but those got delayed. So we'll do a giveaway today, and then we'll do another one next week. We are doing a show on Flora Wednesday, so I might do it there. And the following Wednesday after that, we're going to be covering the Maura Murray case, and we're going to have Chandler back on, who is a case expert. He's agreed to come and hang out. So we can definitely talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, but this is what I have on the agenda here. We're going to talk about Hannah Kobayashi. We'll probably start with that because there's some breaking information this morning. We're going to talk about Chelsea Grimm. She went missing in the high northern desert here in Arizona. The 2002 Ariel Castro kidnappings. It's a bizarre case. Mercedes Vega. And the Susan Smith case, which has been recently in the news. And then when we're all finished up with everything that I have for you and anything that you guys might want to bring up, we'll go ahead and we'll do the giveaway. Now, in order to win, you got to remember, I need to ship it to you. So you got to be able to give me your shipping address. The way it works is anybody who wants to enter into the drawing, don't do that now, but if you're here at the time, we'll get you entered in. We'll spin the wheel. Whoever name lands on, you have just a couple minutes to email me your address, and that's how you claim your prize. I have a couple pieces of merchandise that are going out already today via mail. Got to go down to the post office and ship 2 T-shirts. So shout out to those of you who have been hitting the merch shop on sleuthintuition.com. Apparently these look like Christmas gifts. So I appreciate all of your guys' support on the channel. Everybody who donates to the Cash App, to the Venmo, and who have become members of my channel. So, and especially you mods, you hardworking mods, all of you guys, you make this possible, and you enable my channel to continue to grow. So we're going to live up to the title, Anything and Everything. That could include politics. That could include current events. That could include a story, something that happened to you over the weekend. You guys probably didn't see me this weekend because I had a tragedy happen. A really good friend of mine passed away. He was on the phone with his father, and he wasn't paying attention, and he went to cross the road and was hit and killed by a truck. He was flung about 70 feet and later died in the hospital. So it's been kind of a rough one for me this weekend, Good old panic attacks about life and death and things like that. I'm sure you guys understand. Good morning, Sharon Parker. Welcome in, Cindy. Copper Horse. Jill Moser. Good to see you. Metal Mama, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Don't forget, 28th is Thanksgiving. I don't know where the time goes. It's crazy. What's up, Mustang? Shout out to Missouri. Wanda, good to see you. Patty, good to see you. Susie. Miranda Lee. Julia, what's up? I appreciate that, Julia. Yeah, it's been rough. I don't know what it is. It feels like the older I get, the more I fear death. And when I was a young man, I didn't fear anything. You know, I don't want to die. That much I do know. So yeah, I may have had a few panic attacks over the weekend. Talked to a lot of my old friends, shed some tears. I'm just not good with this kind of stuff, you know, funerals and all of that. I don't go to funerals, but I'm going to force myself to go, even if I have to hide somewhere in the back. Let's hit Julia. Good to see you, Julia.
Excellent.
Okay. Looks like I'm having a weird delay on my system, so I'm going to do this. Let me bookmark these articles that I have here for the Kobayashi case. So you guys might lose me here for a moment or two, and then I'll be right back. I just got to refresh this screen here. There we go. So hopefully you guys can hear me, see me loud and clear. Thanks, Patty. What's up, Miranda? Thanks, I appreciate that. Let me pull these articles back up for you guys here. So I don't know if you guys heard, but the father of missing Hawaii woman Hannah Kobayashi found dead in Los Angeles, police say. I think this might be a self-harm situation. I don't know. I'm going to read this article with you guys. We'll learn as we go here. We'll learn a little bit about the case before we go into that breaking news. Hey, we got a super chat, Miss Dog Lover. Life really sucks at times. My brother was only 32, passed 11 days before my 30th birthday. And sorry guys, I'm having looks like my internet's running a little messed up. But we were a rowdy bunch. We were in a band. He was the drummer. We did a lot of drinking, partying. This was years ago. So a lot of times I don't answer the phone when people call. I'm married. I go to bed like at 9 o'clock most nights, wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. So I don't answer a lot of calls from some of my old friends. I just wait till they text me or leave a message or whatever. But he actually called me probably about 3 weeks before he passed away, and I didn't pick up the call. So that's been kind of eating me up a little bit. I still have the voicemail. I haven't, I'm afraid to listen to it. It's just kind of things like that that really mess with me. It's good to see you, Sparky. Shane, welcome in. Copper, thank you. I appreciate that. Cheeks on the Menendez brothers getting out early. I say no. I say hell no. Those guys have been cold-blooded from the beginning, and I understand if they were abused and all that stuff, my heart goes out to them. But that doesn't give you any reason to brutally murder your parents. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs, but I just know how they acted afterward. Killed their parents and went and bought a bunch of jet skis and shit. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's cold-blooded. And then they lived in the house. Made up a whole story, kind of like Susan Smith did. That's psychopathy 101 right there. Blind squirrel, welcome in. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Oh, there's Phil. What's up, Phil? Susie. That's exactly how I felt about the brothers. I think it's very plausible that they were abused, but there's still no justification for what they did, especially at their age when they did it. Exactly. And I understand if crimes of passion do happen, but typically you're going to admit to what you did, Like, yeah, they brutalized me and my brother our whole entire childhood, and one day we just snapped. And I think if they would have been honest about that, and if that's really what happened, they may not have gotten such a harsh sentence. They may have even been up for parole right around now, for all we know. But instead, they lied. They showed no remorse, and it just wasn't a good look. It looked cold blooded. Shane says, exactly, Cheeks. We all know plenty of survivors, but there's other ways to get someone back. Break the cycle of abuse is real power. Exactly. And I know some of you are going through it. We don't know what each of us have been through. Every man thinks that his burden is the heaviest. We always think that the world's out to get us. And we forget about, our friends, our neighbors, strangers, what they might be going through. You can't always assume that it's all good for everybody. You don't know what people have been through. And there's no exception. Patty Sleuth, they were brutalized by their dad and mom, stood by and did nothing. Their brains were messed up. I agree with that. I agree. But that still doesn't explain the jet skis and the lack of remorse, because if you're a victim, a true victim feels like they were pushed to murder or pushed to harm, and they're going to have remorse. They're going to say, hey, well, I was pushed I was backed into a corner and I just snapped. Doesn't take away, the pain that they're going through or what their parents did to them. But anybody in their right mind knows you go to the police, you don't brutally murder your family and then try to take over their business and start spending their money and lying to the police. There's no excuse for that. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at there, Sparky. What's that old saying? Hurt people hurt people. That's like saying it's okay what Richard Allen did to Abby and Libby, because now, we're hearing rumors about how he was abused as a child. And I'm not saying that you're saying it's okay, Patty, because that's definitely not what I'm getting. But for any of you who are thinking, well, that's what I would have done. So if I seem a little out of it, that's why. Just a little brokenhearted. I drank a bottle of wine last night like it was a 40-ounce beer. Just popped that cork and was just drinking it. Then I went to bed. Woke up like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep and turned on the new John Benet Ramsey documentary on Netflix. It's really good. We've covered that case a few times here on this channel. Very interesting. Wanda says, my brother was murdered in 1990. I'm sorry to hear that, Wanda. At Mazio's in front of me. Jesus. And a brother that unalived himself in 2022 due to a lot of health issues. It makes holidays rough, and it has taken a toll on my mom. Yeah, I've been reaching out to Galen Rose. She's the mother of the Flora victims. I'm sure she's having a rough time. I spoke to Drew Collins briefly. He's the father of one of the Evansdale victims. It just seems it's really hard around this time of the year. And it's got to be hard to celebrate. I'm looking forward to go hanging out with my dad, doing tradition. He always likes to read from the Bible, remind us what Christmas is all about. He's been doing that since I was just a wee lad. So it's just those little things we take for granted. And I don't know what I'm going to do when he's gone. I just don't. I don't deal with death well. It terrifies me. Good to see you, Miss Dog Lover. All right. Have you guys been keeping up with the Hannah Kobayashi case? I mean, it's one of those cases that just keeps getting weirder and weirder by the day. What does snap mean? Like, oh, snap. It's kind of like, oh, shit. All right, we're all caught up on the chat. Let's get into this. Hannah Kobayashi missing timeline and what we know. Sorry about all these ads. Newsweek is they're on one here. Hannah Kobayashi's searches continue today, a day after her father was found dead. Actually, I want to read this one first. Nearly 2 weeks after her mysterious disappearance. Sorry, her father was found dead, and nearly 2 weeks after her mysterious disappearance. The 31-year-old Hawaii woman caught a flight from Maui on November 8th to New York City, but did not catch her connecting flight in Los Angeles. Her loved ones say she was due to meet family in New York and had a handwritten itinerary stating bucket list dreams become a reality. Sounds a lot like Chelsea Grim. But instead, she has been seen only fleetingly on surveillance video, while they have received alarming and out-of-character text messages from her phone. Hannah is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall and approximately 140 pounds. She has brown hair, brown eyes, and freckles on her face. She has a tattoo of a knife on one of her forearms. There's a photo of her there. She's very pretty. The body of Kobayashi's father, Ryan, was found on Sunday in LA, where he had spent 13 days in the search for his daughter. I mean, this is extremely tragic. This timeline below plots how her mysterious disappearance has unfolded. So this is going to act as a timeline here. Hey, Lorraine, how you doing? Good to see you, Lorraine. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you guys are having a good Monday and you're all getting all ready for the holidays. Oh, that reminds me, I was going to do a poll. Hold on. Just bear with me here. God, my computer is running so slow. I've used up like an entire terabyte. I need to go through here and delete some of this shit. Put that Jeopardy music on. Today, Junior. Tut, tut, tut. Jeez. Hey, Miracle Hearts. Or excuse me, Copper Horse. Thanks for. Okay, this is ridiculous. There we go. All right. The question is best way to cook a turkey, roasted, fried, or other? Go. Irish lingo. I forget, Shane. I forget you're on the other side of the planet. I forget. Copper says, don't forget to press that thumbs up. Yeah, go share the video too on X, on your Facebook, on your YouTube channel. The more, the merrier. Thank you, Copper. Shane, I have my t-shirt. I put on a few pounds, so it's tight. Whoever wins the hoodie will love it. Yeah, man. Halloween did it for me. All that chocolate laying around. I mean, I was just taking it by the fists. Laying down watching TV, all these candy wrappers all over my chest. Like, what have you become, Sleuth? Look at yourself. You went from finely tuned machine to Homer Simpson. I'm sorry to hear that, Miranda. So if you guys have a Sleuth Crew membership, make sure you thank Copper Horse. She just handed out 20. Thanks for supporting the channel, Copper. Thanks for supporting the community, is what I should say. Got a little kitty cat begging to get in, but if I let her in, she's going to try to walk on the keyboard. Okay, let's continue on here. November 8th, first sighting at LAX. Kobayashi landed at LAX from Maui at 9:53 p.m. local time and was seen on surveillance footage leaving the aircraft dressed in a black hooded sweatshirt and tie-dye leggings. She missed her connecting flight to New York because of a tight 42-minute layover, her family said. Ooh, that sucks. I don't know if you guys ever been in that situation where you're trying to run to the gate and it's on the other side of the airport. And there it is right there. So, I mean, she looks fine. She looks comfortable. You know, typically that's kind of that's how I dress on the airplane. Comfy pants, a hoodie, some tennis shoes, then a backpack with all my shit in it. all my carry-on stuff. So that November 8th. Okay, November 9th, first sighting at the Grove. Kobayashi was sighted time in Tashin Books and asked to charge her phone. She went to the bookstore and asked employees to charge her phone, so she charged her phone there for an hour and a half while she got food. Her aunt, Larry Pigeon, told Fox News on November 21st, appearing alongside Kobayashi's father, she even filled out a mailing list with her Hawaiian address, and it's in her handwriting. So why would she be doing that if she had any plans to bail, right? Okay, November 10th, second sighting at the Grove. On Sunday, 2 days after she missed her connecting flight, Kobayashi returned to the Grove where she was seen in the background of a video from a Nike and LeBron James event. She also posted a picture from the event to her Instagram page. So, all normal behavior, seemingly. Kobayashi's aunt, Larry Pigeon, Lori, I think, Lori Pigeon, Larry, told USA Today that the strange and super strange and alarming texts began on Monday after the connecting flight was missed. Now, that's not good because we all know that when bad things happen, these idiotic killers, they think it's smart. They grab the phone and they start texting back like, oh, everything's okay. I'm fine. There's been some killers that have done that for months. And then finally people are like, no, something's wrong. I need to go see what's going on. So that is a little bit alarming. We started getting texts saying that she didn't feel safe, that someone was trying to steal her funds, that someone was trying to take her identity. Pigeon said weird things, calling us babe, things that weren't quite the normal way that she speaks. So this is kind of giving me psychosis vibes. It reminds me a lot of Chelsea Grum, where you're kind of going in and out of psychosis. You're having delusions, delirium. We started getting texts saying that she didn't feel safe, that someone was trying to steal her funds, that somebody was trying to take her identity. Sounds a lot like the Cole Infinity case. Remember, he thought he was being followed, and then he was found deceased under strange circumstances. Kobayashi's aunt, Lori Pigeon, told USA Today on November 17th. Kobayashi's last texts were also absent of emojis, which her family told Fox News on November 21 was very unusual. Hawaii News now earlier reported on November 15th that one message sent to Kobayashi's friend read in part, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds. A second message said, for someone I thought I loved. Yikes. Outlet. The texts were really weird. It's weird to me because it doesn't sound like her. Like there's just something off about it, she said. So I wasn't too sure. I don't know if it's her or if it's somebody else texting. Pigeon told USA Today on November 19th that Kobayashi was seen on Monday at LAX airport talking to an American Airlines ticketing agent. So she has she misses her flight. Maybe she met somebody at the airport, somebody that uh, bamboozled her or took advantage of her. Okay, I'm here alone. Boom, right there, a predator's their eyes are gonna get big, right? Oh, you're here alone. So she may have become a target. It's been confirmed that she was trying to basically get a direct flight. She was sick of standby. Lori Pigeon told Fox News 2 days later on November 21. Her phone last pinged from LAX airport and has been turned off since, she added. So it could be thrown in a trash can or still at LAX. Maybe somebody destroyed it there. November 11th, Pico Metro Station. On November 17th, Kobayashi's family revealed that they had seen surveillance footage of Kobayashi leaving the Pico Metro Station near LAX with an unidentified person at 10:03 p.m. on November the 11th. This video has not yet been released to the public. Well, release it to the public so we can see who this person is. God, I hate that shit. Describing the sighting, Kobayashi's family said in a statement, it is evident that Hannah does not appear to be in good condition and she is not alone. So they must, if they're not releasing this video, they must know who's in that video. Because if they don't need help from the public, they've already identified this person and he may actually be a suspect. What other reason would they have for not sharing that, right? November 12th, Family Files missing person report. The Los Angeles Police Department launches a social media campaign asking anyone with information to come forward. Age 31. Pigeon told KITV on the Thursday after the disappearance that one message from Kobayashi's phone sent to her aunt in New York said, "I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening." So I wonder if this person is maybe giving her drugs, or she could have already passed away and this person's using her phone trying to create a narrative, giving all the reasons why her bank account is drained, why they might find drugs in her system, creating some kind of a narrative that points everywhere but back to the assailant, right? Another text apologized for craziness, later adding was definitely intercepted. See, it's very strange. Ryan Kobayashi found dead. Hannah Kobayashi's father, Ryan Kobayashi, is found dead in a parking lot in L.A. LAPD confirmed to ABC News that his body was found on Sunday around 4 a.m. I wonder if he got close. At 6151 West Century Boulevard at a business near LAX. The suspected cause of death was not provided by LAPD. However, the death appears to be an apparent S word. According to Missing Persons Not-for-Profit Group, the RAD movement. And that's what I heard also from CNN earlier today, that it appears to be self-harm. Maybe he got too close, though. The Kobayashi family endured a devastating tragedy today after tirelessly searching throughout Los Angeles for 13 days. Hannah's father, Ryan Kobayashi, tragically took his own life. This loss has compounded the family's suffering immeasurably, the RAD movement said in a statement posted to Facebook yesterday. Again, it is the family wish that the public keep the focus on locating and recovering Hannah safely, the RAD movement added. I don't know. That's a little bit fishy there, guys. You don't do Thanksgiving? What the? Hey, Stefa, good to see you. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know what to make of this case. I don't know if the father got too close and they made it look like self-harm. I just don't understand how you could do that to yourself when you're that motivated. Nothing's going to motivate a father like a missing child. So I don't get that. We've seen fathers who have gone out searching for their children and end up becoming a victim as well. they become another victim of the killers. What's going on, Audra? Good morning to you. Welcome in. Cheryl, welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, me too, Shane. I'm leaning towards foul play. Somebody at the airport was seen walking around with another gentleman. Who's to say that her father didn't find this man, or maybe he found him? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. So it looks like the Kobayashi case is turning into a real nightmare for that family. Okay, let's look at the poll. Best way to cook a turkey: roasted. 81% of you are into that traditional style. 15% say fried. 4 say other. What is other? What is that? How else are you going to cook it? Smoke it? Yeah. What other way is there to cook it? Yeah, I agree with that, Wanda. So they should put their face all over the news, unless they. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of loop back to Chelsea Grim's case. Looks like they're trying to make a push as far as the media is concerned, try to bring more attention to her case before it gets swept under the rug. Chelsea Grim disappeared while camping alone in Coconino County. That's northern Arizona near Flagstaff. You guys are familiar with that. In early October of 2023, her white Ford Escape SUV was found with 2 flat tires on Forest Service Road 6 north of Ash Fork. Her camera was inside the vehicle, and the last picture was taken on September 30th. So me, my wife, and my kids actually went out there. We did boots on the ground. I did a whole documentary on it. We passed out flyers. We hung up flyers all throughout Flagstaff. We interviewed people. We generated a tip towards the investigation, which I was extremely proud of. If you guys want to go see that documentary, it's on my channel. We're just going to watch a real quick video from local news here in Phoenix. It's titled Renewed Search for New Clues in 2023 Disappearance.
This isn't how the Grimm family pictured their lives 1 year later. This time last year, their daughter, Chelsea, decided to drive across the country from San Diego to their home in Connecticut, but stopped in Arizona to camp. She told her parents she wouldn't have cell service for a couple days.
And a couple of days after that, I was like, this isn't right, because I normally would talk to or text or email with Chelsea every day.
We know on September 28th, she made contact with a police officer in Williams near her campsite 2 days before she was seen for the last time by a woodcutter in the area.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road.
Watching that video, did she seem like the Chelsea you know?
She sounded remarkably composed and nothing in that camera footage alarmed me.
Her family reported her missing on October 4th of last year, which alerted authorities in northern Arizona. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office found her car abandoned the next day with flat tires and a lot of her personal belongings inside.
The thing that concerned me was her camera was in
Boyle.
her car. Her camera was a part of her personality and an extension of who she was. I would think that if she were leaving the car, she would take her camera.
Police canines searched the area of the car within a 3-mile radius, not picking up on her scent or any remains. From there, the clues seemed far and few between.
There were no footprints.
Yeah, we went out here in the woods and we searched for about 2 hours and we didn't find anything for, any sign of her. But as soon as we get the opportunity, we're going back out there with the drone.
Going away from the car when they found it. We have no evidence that she got a ride out. So how did she get out of there? How does someone just sort of disappear into thin air?
Her parents hired private investigator Justin Yentis, who gained access to all of Chelsea's cell phone and digital data, which abruptly ends in the woods where she was camping.
That's the last point that we have any type of cell phone information.
Chelsea had recently gone through a breakup and was having a hard time coping. Yentes is now going back over Chelsea's own words, searching for any new leads within them.
There were diaries and journals, and we've been going through all of those with a fine-tooth comb to see if there's any indication of other people that she had contact with.
Chelsea's parents don't know if she's dead or alive, or if foul play is involved or not. But as the mystery only deepens, so does their tenacity to
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird people up there where she went missing.
find their daughter.
I just need to know that
Hey,
whatever
Melissa.
happens, I've done everything, and that her father and I have done everything we can to make a full court press to find her.
Boyle. Ugh.
Chelsea's family is working on getting billboards up off the I-40 near Williams, where her car was found, and also launching a poster campaign in northern Arizona to get her face back out there in the public. Chelsea has a very distinct tattoo of a vine on her left forearm that could help identify her. Of course, if you have any information on her disappearance, please call the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, who is actively investigating this case alongside her family and that PI.
Vanished without a trace and with a camera left in the car. There are just so many mysteries involved here. What about the woodcutter, the last person, as far as we know, who saw her alive? Was he questioned, I assume?
Yeah, the private investigator said he's been questioned multiple times, very cooperative. But one of the things they're focusing on, too, is going back and questioning her friend. And
There was an off-duty LA cop, too, that was out there hunting who came in contact with her.
Phoenix. She actually got lunch with a friend in Phoenix and then canceled the next day and ended up going up north to camp. And so they're trying to go back through that friend and see, hey, was there anything else you remember from that conversation that might give us just even an inkling of what was going through her mind or what may have led to something else? Because as we know, the littlest details can sometimes open the widest doors.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess boiled chicken's okay. I don't know. I've never heard of a boiled turkey. What's up, Susie? Yeah, so that's another mind-melting mystery here, Chelsea Grimm. I think this one is definitely going to fall under the category of psychosis, kind of like Aidan Clune. Kind of losing touch with reality, not really understanding the dangers that you're in from the elements, not eating, not seeking shelter, things like that. It's kind of like a forest desert. It's hard to explain, but it's extremely vast. Nobody's really living out there. It's all dirt roads. So, I mean, she could be anywhere. I'm not a big stuffing guy. My family, we cook like Mexican food, homemade chili Colorado, red chili, homemade tortillas, tamales, stuff like that. And then we have all the traditional stuff with that. Ham, maybe some roast. Yeah, so if you guys want to learn more about the Chelsea Grim case, we documented everything. We went out and filmed a documentary, and we went live the entire time. We were live when we were searching. We went live from all these different small towns that she visited. I mean, we just traced her. Every move that she took, we followed right behind her. Interviewing locals. I interviewed the owner of the Aztec Motel where she was last seen on CCTV footage. He asked me not to put it on air because he was tired of private investigators kind of showing up and then blasting his face all over the place. So, but I did interview one of his workers, and he allowed, I think, she worked in the gift shop, and they gave us a lot of good information. But we did develop a tip and provided that to the investigators. So, what's up? Nicely done. I prefer browning chicken or turkey. Flavortown. So if you guys are wondering what I selected, I prefer frying the turkey. It's much easier. It's quicker. Usually only takes like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. And it comes out really tender. There you go. Boston Market. Whatever you do, don't use frozen green beans in the green bean casserole. I did it once and my family had a meltdown and most of it was tossed out. What? We got some casserole snobs. I don't know. I would eat it either way. That's just me, though. Melissa, not a turkey fan. Not even on Thanksgiving? What the hell? All those leftovers. Try injecting it with garlic marinade sleuth. It's wonderful. Well, I order these injections, so I wonder if garlic. They seem to work really good. I'm pretty sure they're packed full of garlic, but I'll check. Hey, Cheryl, my homemade green bean casserole. None of that cream of crap. Cream of mushroom. Had a crack pot thing just for turkey. What's a crack pot? Is that like a huge pot where you can boil a turkey? I like those Hawaiian rolls, Melissa. You like those? Melissa says, I like cranberry sauce, rolls, stuffing, and pumpkin bread with cream cheese. Damn, that sounds good. Hey, CJK, good news is I no longer make the green bean casserole. Don't let them control you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa. My dad died, so he did the turkey, so skipping turkey this year. Yeah. Man, holidays can be a real pain in the ass. Nicely done says, I love box stuffing with white, yellow raisins. It's so good. I'm not big on the stuffing. Yep, that's true, Shane. Even if somebody's suffering from psychosis, that could make them a target to a predator. Like, oh man, this person's having a medical issue. This is my opportunity to take advantage or pounce. Typically, we do roast or ham, Miss Dog Lover, for Christmas. And a shit ton of tamales. That's my favorite for breakfast. Tamale, some red chili, and a couple of over easy eggs with a homemade tortilla. Ooh. Sorry to hear that, Cheryl. I love green beans. They're my favorite. Homemade, canned, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'll eat them. They're yummy. I like to mix them in with my mashed potatoes. Nicely done says pumpkin bread with cream cheese. That sounds wonderful. Says Melissa Wildcard, sorry about your dad. Yep, tamales for Christmas. You know what's up. Hey, Pipers. Just have a minute to say hello to you, chat and mods. Hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Really enjoy it. Thank you, Pipers. Well, if you can't stay, make sure you have a great day. And if I don't see you, have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, Susie. It's like I don't even want to think about it. I've been so fortunate. My dad is just such a big part of my life. I don't, the kids love him. He's like the glue during the holidays. So I just don't know what would happen. I don't even like to think about it. I haven't put up a tree for Christmas since I lost my mom in 2014. I understand, Melissa. Yeah, it's hard. Ham with a can of cider poured on top and honey glaze. Ooh, that sounds pretty good, dude. Like a ham sandwich from leftover ham. Oh. Slice a big block of like cheddar. Oh man, the holidays are gonna make me so fat. Need to get some of those pregnancy pants. Remember those? Remember that? Martha, green bean casserole, candied yams and marshmallows, turkey with cranberry sauce, deviled eggs. That does sound good. My grandpa, before he passed away, and he was pretty much full-blooded German. He would make Jello with celery inside of it, and he would go crazy for that shit. Jello with celery, and he was so proud of that shit. Okay, so we're going to transition over to a very, I really don't know how to describe this case. When it hit the news, it terrified me. It made me question everything about everyone, how you can't really trust your neighbors. Now, this case is the Ariel Castro kidnappings case. Between 2002 and 2004, Ariel Castro abducted Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry. You guys might remember that name, Amanda Berry. It was pretty popular in the news at one point. And Gina De Jesus from the roads of Cleveland, Ohio, and later held them captive in his home at 2007 Seymour Avenue in the city's Tremont neighborhood. All three women were imprisoned at Castro's home until 2013, when Barry successfully escaped with her 6-year-old daughter, to whom she had given birth while captive, and contacted the police. Police rescued Knight, De Jesus, and arrested Castro hours later. And nobody in the neighborhood knew anything that was going on. Castro had family members that were living in this 3-story home, and they had no clue. He had brothers that were coming and going from the home that were arrested early on, but were released because they had no clue. Which is extremely crazy. So let me see. I have about 6 videos on this. Where should we start? Okay, maybe we'll start here.
Those 3 young women are marking this holiday free for the first time in a decade. And tonight here, 2 major headlines in this case. First, dramatic new video unearthed from the moment police arrived after getting that 911 call that day. There they are at the front door, rushing to the scene. Across the street, you can actually see Amanda Berry holding her 6-year-old daughter just minutes after making that brave call. And tonight we're hearing from Ariel Castro's 2 brothers who were arrested and then freed. So many asking, what did they know? ABC's Alex Perez in Cleveland again tonight.
Our first glimpse at those tense moments when Cleveland police pried open the front door of Ariel Castro's home, freeing Gina De Jesus and Michelle Knight. The rescue caught on cell phone video by Ashley Colon and Jasmina Baldrick when they noticed a commotion and pulled over.
Police, detectives, ambulance came out of nowhere.
It all unfolds just moments after Amanda Berry and her 6-year-old daughter escaped and ran across the street.
When I turn my camera, you can see a little bit of Amanda, I think.
Hey, Susie.
There she goes.
That's her, holding the baby, right? Today, we learned the women are spending their first Mother's Day in 10 years with their loved ones and filled with gratitude.
For the generous assistance and loving support of their family, friends, and the community.
Through their attorney, we are also hearing directly from the women themselves. In a statement, De Jesus says, "I just want time now to be with my family." Knight writes, "I am healthy, happy, and safe." Barry saying, "I am so happy to be home with my family." Her grandfather making the drive from Tennessee to see her. Before she disappeared, he had promised her this Dale Earnhardt edition Chevy Monte Carlo.
It's the first thing she asked, "Have you still got my car?" I lit up her world when I thought it was still sitting there.
Tonight, we are hearing from Ariel Castro's brothers, who were initially arrested with him but later released. In an interview with CNN, O'Neill and Pedro Castro say they had no idea what was happening in their brother's home.
I couldn't never think of doing anything like that. If I knew, I would have reported it, brother or no brother.
And in that interview, the Castro brothers say they worry people will always think they played some sort of role in all of this.
Those 3 young women are marking this holiday free for
Yeah, this is a true crime and cooking. True crime and cooking. Let's hear what John Douglas had to say about this creep, Ariel Castro.
Let's talk a little bit more about Ariel Castro. I interviewed his former daughter-in-law the other night, and she was really revealing. I thought actually one of the more revealing interviews so far since this story broke, because she detailed all the abuse that her former mother-in-law and her former husband had endured at the hands of Ariel Castro. And it went way beyond the kind of, and I don't use this word in any light way, average domestic violence, if you like, that perhaps we all had been suckered into believing he had perpetrated. This was proper, pretty vile abuse that was going on.
Yeah, I wrote a book once on called Obsession, had to do exactly with this subject matter. And there are people who are in relationships today that are being abused and controlled by husbands. They have to tell them when they leave the house, they give them a certain amount of money, better not spend beyond this money. They check the odometer, on their car. But this is going way, way beyond the extreme amount of violence exhibited on his, on his wife. And what was interesting is the people within this environment, other children within the environment. Will it impact them? Will it impact them in their lives? And what we end up seeing is one of the daughters, in fact, nearly kills one of her children, an infant, years later. And what always is a debate, is it a nature nurture thing? Well, I can tell you from the people I've interviewed, you can't really say that everyone falls at the hands of someone who's extremely violent will turn into a violent anything. But I can say from the people who I have interviewed, on death row or in prisons around the country, most of them will have some type of violence, psychological, physical violence, sexual violence in the background. However, I'm kind of tough on this because I still don't believe it should be a mitigating factor. They still have the ability to make choices, and it's free will, and they're making these choices, and it's the wrong choices.
So that's what Ariel Castro said. He kind of used the Menendez brothers' defense, saying that he was abused as a child and things like that. And that's why he did what he did to these women.
Despite the 937 counts against him, Ariel Castro was defiant, almost rebellious in court, claiming he never beat or tortured the 3 women he held captive for a decade.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal person. I am just sick. I have an addiction, just like an alcoholic has an addiction.
An addiction to sex, Castro said, the result, he claimed, of having been a victim himself of sex acts as a child. In one of the more breathtaking moments at his sentencing, the man who pleaded guilty to multiple counts of rape said this about his victims.
Most of the sex that went on in the house, and probably all of it, was consensual. These allegations about being forceful on them, that is totally wrong.
Yeah, so all the chains and the fact that he was keeping these 3 women a secret from the rest of his family. We've got it all wrong, guys.
Because there was times that they would even ask me for sex, many times.
That's called Stockholm Syndrome. They're probably trying to figure out a way to escape from you, you piece of shit.
A staggering claim balanced against photos the prosecution revealed in court. Chains, ties, even a motorcycle helmet that police say was placed on at least one victim when she was sexually assaulted. A door rigged with an alarm clock to signal Castro if someone was trying to get out. Showing a model of his home, officials said he'd reconfigured the house to keep the women hidden. Even with the presentation of this huge trove of evidence, Ariel Castro was still bold enough to interrupt the judge several times. This exchange was over the aggravated murder charge.
There was never no evidence of me murderizing a fetus. That never happened.
Mr. Castro, you talked with your attorneys and you made the decision to plead to count 1 as indicted, correct?
I clear the record. I never killed anyone, and I am not a murderer.
The only victim to appear, Michelle Knight, who said she spent, quote, 11 years in hell.
Days never got shorter. Days turns into nights. Nights turns into days. Years turn into eternity.
Knight has told police she was pregnant at least 5 times, but was starved and punched until she eventually miscarried.
She was pregnant 5 times by this monster, and those babies were killed. He says he's not a murderer. I disagree. And I feel like he would have killed these girls too at some point in time when he was done with them. Welcome back, YouTube bad actors. Good to see you.
DNA tests have confirmed Castro is the father of Amanda Berry's young daughter. When we were in Cleveland at the time of the women's rescue, a source familiar with the investigation told CNN that when Berry went into labor, Castro ordered Michelle Knight to deliver the child. The baby was delivered in a plastic tub or pool to contain the mess.
And the source says once the child was born, there were moments of horror and panic. The child stopped breathing, according to the source. Everyone screamed. And Ariel Castro allegedly threatened to kill Michelle Knight if the baby didn't survive.
According to a police report, Michelle Knight said she breathed into the child's mouth to keep her alive. The evidence that the women were bound, that chains and ropes were in the home, is consistent with the accounts of Fernando Colon.
It's a real
He was
life
engaged
nightmare.
to Gramilda Figueroa, Ariel Castro's ex-wife, until her death last year. Colon told me Castro would beat Figueroa mercilessly, sometimes with barbells, and
she told me that she was locked in that house. He had tinted the windows. She had padlocked the doors. The only time that she was able to come out was for her appointments. That was it.
In court today, Ariel Castro denied beating his ex-wife, saying she would escalate arguments and get physical with him, that he only
Jesus.
reacted by putting hands on her.
Psychopathy and narcissism, remember, it's everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. I'm the victim.
We do have to say Fernando Colon could have motivation for accusing Ariel Castro. Colon was convicted of molesting 2 of Castro's children several years ago. He has long said that he is innocent. He claims that Ariel Castro orchestrated the charges against him to deflect attention from Castro's own crimes. Colon is now planning to appeal his conviction. Wolf.
And the judge, Michael Russo, he did make reference to the very chilling way that Castro enticed these 3 women before he kidnapped them.
He did. Judge Michael Russo mentioned that all 3 of the victims had previously been friends with at least 2 of Castro's daughters or his son. Now, we had been told by a private investigator in Cleveland when we were there that one of Castro's daughters would go to shopping with one of the victims, Gina DeJesus, go to festivals with her, and that apparently appears now to be Castro's entry into this. This is how he maneuvered his way to get close to those victims.
despite the 937 counts against him.
Sick. Imagine going to hang out with one of your friends and their dad just one day you're just not allowed to go home and you're locked in some kind of dungeon.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
It was the call that changed her life.
We had to kick open the bottom. Luckily on that door was aluminum, it was cheap. And she climbed out with her daughter. She went to my house, we called 911.
What followed was a whirlwind of reunions and a media frenzy. But eventually, it calmed down. Now, 5 years later, Amanda is still trying to soak it all in.
It was so much, so fast, and it was so surreal because that's all I wanted for 10 years. And to finally have that, it was just amazing. On the first
What's up, Brett?
year, it was so hard to just go out, live a normal life because I was still so scared of the possibilities, you know, everything that could go wrong or all the scary things.
Let's go to CJK's comment because I was thinking about this yesterday when I was going through these videos here. CJK says, scary thing is there are more sickos out there just like him. So if this guy could smack dab in a busy neighborhood, busy household, have 3 women as his prisoners without anybody knowing, think about all the missing people that we have in this world. Some of the cases that we're covering, you know, where we feel that these people might have gone missing due to psychosis, due to self-harm, maybe drug abuse, kidnapping, whatever. Who's to say that they're not locked up in somebody's basement like Chadwell? Remember, he kidnapped that poor girl, and if cops wouldn't have acted extremely quick, they may never even know what happened to that poor little girl. By the grace of God, she was rescued before that piece of shit could kill her. But there was another case where a gentleman, he drove all the way from the East Coast. I think it might have been Philadelphia. He had catfished a girl in California. He drove all the way across the country, killed her family, burned their house down. Thank goodness he was captured before he could put her in what he had, I guess what you could call a dungeon. He specifically sought out a home to purchase that had a basement, that he could install chains and a bed, and he was going to kidnap her and take her back to the East Coast and basically do what Ariel Castro did to these women. So, I mean, how many of these missing people could still be alive in a very similar situation as these girls?
And that was tough. I think now I'm getting a little more comfortable in my skin and making decisions for myself. And yeah, I mean, that was really hard in the beginning, making decisions for myself, because being told what you're doing for 10 years, what you're eating, when you're going to sleep, I mean, all those things get to you and you kind of get used to that and that's your normal.
you're probably grateful for most things that maybe people aren't or don't even think about. What are some of those things?
Oh gosh, yes. Walking out my front door, feeling the sunshine, because gosh, I waited for that for so long. To feel the rain, I mean, it's just the small things, to get in my car, to take my daughter to the store. If I want something to drink, I can go to the store and get it myself and drink what I want or eat what I want. It's so simple that you don't think. Or brushing your teeth. I remember like brushing my teeth and taking a shower, and it just felt so good.
A lot of people take all those things you just mentioned for granted.
Yeah, you get up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I gotta get up, I gotta brush my teeth. You know, and sometimes I find myself doing that now, and I'm like, stop and appreciate, you know.
You have a new
What's up,
mission,
V?
and that is speaking with students about sex trafficking. Talk to me about that.
I just want them to know kind of what I went through, but maybe don't make the same mistake that I did. Just take in and heed the lesson of what I'm telling them. Not thinking of any danger, I got into that van, and that was the biggest mistake that I had ever made in my life. Not only would I never see my mother again, but I wouldn't see my sister, my family, or my friends for a decade. Throughout that time, I went through some of the most horrible things you could imagine. But that's my past, and I have worked hard to get past those horrific moments and focus on the future.
Me too, Cindy.
I just want them to be safe and know that you can't trust. You know, that a lot of girls trust, and they just need to be more careful. You know, it's been hard trying to find out what I want to do, who I want to be in life, where a lot of people kind of already figured that out in their 20s, I'd say, or maybe not, but I feel like I didn't get to do that. And especially coming home, I felt, you know, 16, like when I left. And so coming home, I still kind of felt that way. And now I'm kind of feeling a little older because I pay my bills by myself, and, you know, I do grown-up things. Yeah. So
what's that feeling like?
It feels amazing because I actually get to do that now. And as a mom, I have those responsibilities, and I can take care of them. And it's like normal.
Tell me a little bit about your daughter.
She's so kind-hearted. She loves animals. She's outgoing. She's a little sassy. I think she gets that from me or the women in my family, because we're all sassy. I'm just so proud of how much she's grown as a person. She's very caring, and a lot of kids her age are not like that. And I find that she is.
Looking forward to the next 5 years. What do you hope to be doing? Where do you hope to be?
I really want to still work on the missing children, missing people. I want to be working with probably more schools and helping our girls become more empowered and knowing their worth, and giving them tips on how to be safe and stay safe, and maybe giving them a little bit of my story will help them. So hopefully in 5 years, yeah. I mean, I'm on the right path right now, but in 5 years, we could do a lot more.
She's out there helping. JC Duggard. Let me see. That's the 1991 case, right? Let's see. On June 10th, 1991, JC Lee Duggard, an 11-year-old girl, was abducted from a street while walking to school. Wasn't there like multiple girls that were being held by this guy? Yeah, we can cover that. I totally forgot about that case. I remember that one from when I was a kid.
Charles, hey Charles, let me talk to you. I'm talking with Charles Ramsey. He's a neighbor. Walk me through
Shout out
again
to
what
Charles.
happened this afternoon. You heard screaming.
Heard screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch. I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out."
What's up, Kristen?
I've been in here a long time, so I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911." My name was Amanda Berry.
Now, did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got to calling 911, and I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry. I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone and she said, "Yes, this is me." And the detective Cook right here, Detective Gregory Cook says, "Charles, do you know who you rescued?"
YouTube, I'll send you another one, and I'll put it for 2 days. I'm just making sure that we don't have unwanted people coming in and out of the Discord. So usually only do it for 24 hours and then it expires. But I'll send you another one today. Just keep an eye out for it.
I said
Now, and when did you see Gina?
About 5.
We're good.
So about 5 minutes after the police got here, see, the girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house." So they went up there, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out was just astonishing because I thought they were gonna come up with nothing. I figured, whoever she was, and like I say, my neighbor, you got some big testicles to pull this off, bro, because we see this dude every day. Every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You see where I'm coming from?
And you had no indication that there was anything.
Bro, not a clue that girl will.
You guys cannot trust. You can't trust anybody. Nobody. Don't trust me. Don't trust anybody on YouTube. Don't trust the guy that works down the street at the gas station. Don't trust anybody.
Was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will, because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing exciting about him.
CJ.
Well, until the day.
What was your reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight to be
Bro,
around people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway.
This guy's a fucking star.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, a neighbor, heard the screaming, took action, went and did what he needed to do. The rest is unfolding before us here on Seymour. I'm going to send it back to you.
They've never seen nobody in that house, bro.
Look at this neighborhood. Even the houses are close together. This guy's barbecuing with him, and he's saying he had no clue that he was holding these 3 women hostage. It's just crazy. 3 missing people in one home. Some psycho who says he's not a monster, he has an addiction. It reminds me of these people trying to push. Have you guys been seeing this new narrative about pedophiles? That they don't have control over it, and they're trying to make it more acceptable as long as they're not actually pursuing children, that we should feel some kind of way about them. I don't know about all that, guys. We'll talk about that on the next anything and everything. I have a few things I want to show you. There's some pretty sick people advocating for that behavior. Charles. There you go. To Charles. He earned it. Yeah, you got it, bad actors. We're going to get you in there. I just have to make an effort to keep everybody in, keep it as a safe space. But keep an eye out. I'll send you another link today. You got it, Kristen. Yep. We're going to be making a big push on Flora. Not to mention, I've been spending a lot of time behind the scenes, doing what I do, sleuthing around. putting some things together, trying to generate some kind of a tip, anything. I talked to Mike Vergon over the weekend. He didn't want to come on my channel, but we did talk briefly, and he feels like somebody's going to come forward. I also made a request for the 911 calls and was declined. Let me see what their response was on that. To contact the call center for the area involved. So that's what I'm going to be doing today is reaching out directly to the call center that took the 911 call. And apparently, according to Richard T. Payne, Payne, staff attorney, I should be able to obtain those calls through the call center. So we're going to make a push to get those 911 calls relating to the Florida fires and see if we can have any luck. What's up, Delulu? Hey, what's up, kid? Check the rhyme. Crazy they caught another killer just a few houses down from Castro. Talk about a bad hood. That's what I'm saying. Like, what would happen if every neighborhood, including the ones that we live in, was just put under a microscope? They just did random checks. They just busted into every house, checking basements, locked rooms. I mean, think about how many women and missing children and missing people in general would be found. Right now, there's a missing woman that is chained up in somebody's basement or attic or something, Have a great day, Cindy. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your day. See you again real soon. If you want to join the drawing, let me know. So remember, we're going to give away a hoodie. It's exactly like this one. These are extra large. The quality's not the best. I mean, it's nice. It's keeping me warm. It's Hanes. It's a Hanes hoodie. It's decent quality. It fits pretty good. We'll be doing another giveaway sometime next week. It'll be the same hoodie, but in dark gray. And you can pick either with the white logo or with the black logo. And it says Sleuth Crew, we're everywhere. We're going to be giving one of these away at the end of this live stream. So all you have to do is, as long as you're willing to send me your mailing address, we'll enter you in to win. And I'll give you guys those instructions to enter in the drawing towards the end of the stream. So we're going to transition over into the Mercedes Vega case. I don't have a whole lot of current events or global events for today's live stream. It's mainly all true crime. Mercedes Vega's death was ruled a homicide by a medical examiner who cited burns and smoke inhalation as the cause after her body was found the early morning of April 17th, 2023, in the backseat of a burning car in Tonopah in West Maricopa County by sheriff deputies. Responding to the scene, blunt force trauma and gunshot wounds also contributed to Vega's death, the medical examiner found. Gloves and bleach were found in the front of her car, and lighter fluid was in the back seat, according to the medical examiner. So her killer tried to pour bleach into her vaginal area to get rid of DNA. That shows you how sick these people are. So imagine being driven by some kind of evil inside you that you can't keep yourself from hurting people, and then you're instantly consumed by guilt and how to hide the crime. I mean, these people would be better off just not doing it, right? But they can't. And if that doesn't scare you, I don't think anything else will, especially you parents out there and women that have to travel and are constantly alone. Just remember, the Second Amendment is there. Guns' rights are women's rights. Just don't forget that, please. Yeah, too many people today, they mind their own business. We need to be let's be nosy. You can be nosy without being all up in people's business, right? Especially when it comes to children. You see a kid walking alone, say something, especially at night. One is simply not named Charles, it's earned. It's a birthright. The name Charles picks you, you don't pick that name. Charles in charge. Lock them all up. I agree. Shane says pedophilia is a condition, but knowing the difference between right and wrong surpasses that, in my opinion. It's like saying, oh, I fantasize about rape. It's not my fault. It's just something that pops in my head, I don't have control over that. I don't know, necessary. I'm digging them up. I submitted a FOIA request about a month ago, and I got my reply this morning. So I'll just keep trying. Yeah, there's no rehabilitating child predators and men who hurt women. There's no rehabilitating that. I just don't believe that it's possible. It's definitely a sickness that they have. Yeah, nicely done. I do. I have a whole list of other cases that are very similar. I'm teaching myself everything I can about arson investigations. What motivates an arson killer, what motivates an arsonist in general. So I'm educating myself greatly so that I can be of better use for the Florida girls. But yeah, and not my interview with Coach Kev, but the live stream I did on Florida before that, we looked at other cases involving arson and similar circumstances. One interesting case was of a 16-year-old boy. He actually lit the fire himself, and he didn't mean to burn the whole place down. He was trying to create enough damage to the home that he would be forced to go live with his father. He didn't want to live with his mother at the time. So he lit the fire in the home, and it ended up killing his stepdad, his sister, and his mom, and killed a whole bunch of people. So a lot of times, these arson murders or these arson deaths are accidents. Okay, so let's look at the Mercedes Vega case here.
Forensic testing in the Mercedes Vega murder case shows the young woman was attacked in her apartment parking garage one day before she was found burning alive in a car.
Late tonight, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office confirmed that blood found in that parking garage is a match to Mercedes. Her body was found last year. Our true crime correspondent, Brianna Whitney, has been on this case from the very beginning. Brianna, what did you find out today?
Yeah, so this new information confirms Mercedes Vega was attacked and badly hurt inside the parking garage seconds after we see her here walking to her car on surveillance footage. That's the last time she was seen alive.
Yeah, Tempe's not a safe place. There's a lot of robberies, a lot of most of the homeless population in Arizona is not dangerous. They might be drug addicted and dealing with their own problems, but in Tempe, they're like they've like banded together. It's kind of like the Prince of Thieves, this group of homeless, drug addicted. This group in Tempe, they're actually working together. I don't know if they just go all out and do a bunch of crime and then come back and just drop it all in one pot. But they're definitely something special about the group of homeless people and the drug addicted folk that live on the streets in Tempe, Arizona. Very dangerous. I've had guns pulled on me multiple times. I had a friend who was coming over to hang out, and he took the bus from Phoenix into Tempe when I was living there, and he was robbed at gunpoint for his backpack.
Her parents believe the little bits of new information we're learning means her murder is closer to being solved.
Bogey?
But it's unfolding at a time where they must also be Mercedes' voice in a different court case where she was a victim years before her death. New tonight, sheriff's deputies confirming blood found on the ground at Mercedes Vega's apartment complex next to her parking spot in April 2023 was a match to her.
Based off the way the car is parked and where the blood splatters were, I believe she was turned backwards and opening her door, and they hit her from behind.
Mercedes' parents, Erica and Tom Pillsbury, say shortly after she was found burning alive in a car off the I-10 near Tonopah, they went back to the Aubrey apartments in Tempe to retrace their daughter's steps. Erica says she saw a tennis shoe blood print and had hoped it wasn't Mercedes because she often wore heels or flip-flops. But when they saw the surveillance footage of her walking to her car in the parking garage on April 16, 2023, her heart sank.
I saw that she was wearing tennis shoes. Completely further confirmed to me that it was her blood.
The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says Mercedes was found the next day, miles away in a burning car. Her autopsy showing blunt force trauma, a gunshot wound, and bleach in her throat. That parking garage crime scene in a place her parents thought was safe for their daughter.
We purposely went to the Aubrey because
Bleach in her throat.
She wasn't on the first floor.
The reason why she moved in the first place? A Phoenix police report shows in October 2020, Mercedes Vega was held at gunpoint and robbed of her belongings by this man, Cujo Young. Her mom called to the scene when it happened.
She was shaking
Cujo?
so bad.
How the hell you name your kid Cujo?
Terrified. So I took her. She wanted the police to stand there until we actually drove away.
Phoenix police charged Young with armed robbery after Mercedes picked him out of a photo lineup. Before Mercedes died, she had prepared a victim impact statement for the case.
She read it to me, so I know her cadence and, what she was really focused on.
Despite Mercedes' death years later, this armed robbery case is still in court, but keeps getting delayed. As of now, a trial is set for early October, but Erica says whether it makes it to trial or ends in a plea deal, she will read Mercedes' victim impact statement in front of the suspect and be her daughter's voice in court.
She sounded so strong, and I'm going to feel empowered by her to read it and take her words, and the fact that he's going to have to sit there and listen to them. She'll be right there with me, and I know it.
The next status hearing in the armed robbery case is...
I think I might know which case you're talking about. Nicely done. Go ahead and send that to me. You guys, I have to reset my system again. I'm getting this weird audio glitch that I get from time to time. So just bear with me here. You might lose me for a minute. Don't panic. Okay, hopefully that worked. Let me check. Yeah, There we go. So now this is the breaking news in Mercedes' case. They actually found out who killed her and poured bleach down her throat. What a sick motherfucker.
For a year and a half, Mercedes Vega's murder has remained a mystery.
I'm not sure if it was relief or not really knowing how to feel, because it's been such a long time.
Until last week, when Sincere Hayes was arrested while already in jail in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
It's not going to bring her back. We know that, but we are so looking forward to her receiving what she deserves.
According to court records, Hayes was arrested twice in Tennessee in the past year. In May, he was charged with theft and possessing a firearm. A month later, he was accused of driving recklessly, speeding, driving without a license, DUI, and having a handgun while under the influence. Both of those incidents took place after Vega's gruesome murder, 1,700 miles away. Her family says investigators don't believe Vega and Hayes knew each other.
I actually asked that question.
Julia's a
and
savage.
we were told no.
3 years before Vega was murdered, she was robbed at gunpoint. This man, Cujo Young, was charged with that robbery after Vega picked him out in a photo lineup. We have learned Young was from Chattanooga, the same city as Hayes, who lived here in this home.
Will we ever find out exactly what 100% happened? Maybe we will, maybe we know.
Vega's family tells us they know the road to justice
Welcome
is
to the
just
Sleuth Crew
beginning,
War.
with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office saying more arrests are coming.
You're happy that we don't have to look over our shoulder and wonder, are they ever going to catch somebody? And then you're frustrated because there's more to come. And you're on this roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, not to mention that Cujo and her killer are from the same, they're from the same town, you know, on the other side of the country. So they're still investigating if there's a connection there, which there very well could be.
MCSO said it is working with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office on extraditing Hayes from Tennessee to Arizona. The county attorney plans to pursue first-degree murder charges in this case. Reporting live in the studio, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen the movie? You read the book, Cujo? Why would you name your son Cujo? Crazy. Think, what kind of dog is it? I think it's a Mastiff, right? And the dog goes crazy and tries to kill this mother and son and locks them in a car. And the entire movie's just about this mother and child trying to escape this car and this fucking dog that's just completely mad. All right, we're going to catch up on the chat, and then we're going to transition over into the Susan Smith case. She's been in the news recently. Susan Lee Smith. She's an American woman who was convicted of murdering her two sons, 3-year-old Michael and 1-year-old Alexander, in 1994 by strapping her children in their car seats and rolling her car containing her two children into the John D. Long Lake in South Carolina. This case gained international attention because of Smith's false claim that a black man had kidnapped her sons during a carjacking. Her defense attorneys David Bruck and Judy Clark called expert witnesses to testify that she had mental health issues that impaired her judgment when she committed the crimes. Smith was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Smith was first eligible for parole on November 20th, 2024. So that was denied. So here are her precious boys. I mean, I just don't understand how you could do that. And imagine what they went through, you know, looking at each other, looking at like, what do we do, man? Like, we're dying here. We're trapped in this car and we're drowning. The little, you know, looking at your older brother, like, you know, you're saving me, right? And just knowing that it was your mother who did it. Here's the sketch she made. Like, what the fuck? I mean, this has nothing to do with mental health. She's just crazy. I mean, it has everything to do with it, but I mean, this was calculated, cold-blooded. Hey, what's up, Loxy? D-Mart, welcome in. Okay, rotisserie. Okay. That's interesting. That does sound good. Can you I don't know, it seems too thick. What do I know? I guess you can rotisserie a damn full pig. So yeah, this is a very heartbreaking case. This woman came on the news very much like the female Chris Watts, you know, the family annihilator, your textbook evil psychopath right here, Susan Smith. You know, no remorse whatsoever. I'm glad they didn't let her out. The thing about these types of psychopaths that are up for parole, they've had so much time to kind of think about how they would get away with their next crime. And her poor husband, he had no idea. He loved those boys. He stood by her till the very end, until she admitted it. He wouldn't even allow the thought to creep into his mind. Look, she's just a little lady. Sending shockwaves through the world. Can't underestimate people, guys, ever. Yeah, make sure you guys make War Kittens feel at home. Welcome to the Sleuth Crew, and welcome back, YouTube Bad Actors. Appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for supporting the channel. St. Bernard. Was it a St. Bernard? I was going to say St. Bernard, but then I thought, I just think it's a St. Bernard. Let me look it up. What dog? Maybe it was a St. Bernard in the book, but I think the movie it was a Mastiff, but I could be wrong. Let's find out. What dog? See, what dog was in Cujo? 1983 film Cujo featured multiple dogs in the role of Cujo. Well, that's not what I'm asking. Let's see. The main dog in the film died from an infection during post-production. Says here, Cujo was played by 4 St. Bernards, several mechanical dogs, and a black Labrador Great Dane mix. So yeah, definitely St. Bernard. It's a scary ass movie. Wait, I think I missed a comment from you, D-Mart. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry about your friend. It is the hard part of our world. I am at the hospital awaiting the birth of my first grandchild. Congratulations. Man, it's like this world is just filled with ups and downs. The only problem with me is I never know how these types of things are going to affect me.
At this point, based on what happened last night, do you know anything better about it now than you did last night?
No. They've got people everywhere looking for them. I mean, you can hear the helicopters are there, and but they haven't seen anything, and it's crazy. And it's been since 9 o'clock last night, and I really thought that when it got daylight, they would find them just in a heartbeat, but
Was there anything about
Fucking
the demeanor
liar.
of the man that gives you concern?
No, in fact,
reach through that
when
screen
he made
and
me get out of the
fucking
car,
grab her.
I tried to get my children. I just begged him, please let me take them. And he said no, he didn't have time because they were in car seats, and it was going to take time for me to get them out of the car seat. And he just told me,
She has this whole elaborate story,
he said, but I won't hurt them. And he just took off. But he had a gun, and my big thing is they were screaming, hollering, crying, and I'm just scared that he just lost his patience or something, Yeah, I don't know. All I'm doing is just praying and just
Shout out
keeping
to
my
South
faith that
Carolina.
they're going to be okay.
You've never seen this guy before,
No, sir. Never.
and he just came out of the blue.
I was stopped at a red light, and I was looking this way, looking toward the left.
It's right
and
there, dude.
It was just like, in a second, he was in my car. He just opened the car door, and I just screamed. I said, what are you doing? He just shut up and drive, and he had a gun, and he was poking it in my side, and told me to drive. And so I drove, and I was trying to ask him one time,
Okay, don't forget, guys, this woman, a day before this interview, killed her 2 boys. She put them in a vehicle while they're still alive, strapped them into their car seats, and rolled the vehicle into a lake. And she has the audacity to come in front of this camera and tell this elaborate story. We are talking about pure psychopath right here.
why, what do you want? Please just, don't hurt me or the children. He said, and he never said anything. All he ever told me was, shut up or I'll kill you. He said, don't say anything else. And my children were crying, and I was trying to tell them, that it was okay, that, don't worry.
What's up, blood?
And he would, and he let me talk to them. And then we just got maybe 3 or 4 miles down the road, and he told me, he said, I want you to stop. And I said, stop right here? He said, yeah, stop right here. And it was just in the middle of the road. I mean, and I stopped, and he told me to get out. And I was in the driver's side, he was in the passenger side. And so I opened the door. I said, I'm going to get my children before I go. He said, no, you can't. He said, I don't have time for that. He just, and sort of pushed me on out the door, helped me get on out the door. And he slammed the door and took off. And I ran to the closest house that I could.
I mean, she just doesn't have a truth-telling style. Everybody in the world knew that this fucking woman is telling a lie right here. And it's hard to accuse a parent, but like when it comes to the John Benet Ramsey case, it's hard. I mean, you have to vet them out first. You have to clear them because it's just likely that they had something to do with it. So you got to investigate them quickly. But most importantly, the family members need to cooperate, right? They need to give their alibis, give DNA, hair, lie detector test, even if you want to view the questions beforehand. Did I have anything to do with these murders? Do I know who had anything to do with them? Do I know where these people are? Things like that. Get your name off that list. So if you didn't have anything to do with it, investigators can get on and go find out who did, but they have to clear the family first. And usually they do right away. Yep, that's what they do. Family annihilators, just like Chris Watts. You know, who was the other one? Peterson. And you can't tell. You don't see any signs. They're, you know, they have a good job. They don't have a criminal record. They seem to be living a normal life. But the second they meet a new woman or a new man, you know, divorce is on the table. Continuing to cheat is on the table. But for a psychopath, murder is also there on the table. They kind of shed the family like snakeskin. It's really fucking scary. But if you want to know what one looks like, you're looking at one right here. Susan Smith.
I think everybody knows who they are. I think everyone is aware of who these two are. We have a lot of family members here today and a lot of friends who are here in support of Susan and David. I'm going to let them say what they have to say now.
First of all, I would like to say to whoever has my children that they please bring them home to us where they belong. Our lives have been torn apart by this tragic event.
I'll look into it, Sparky.
I can't express how much they are wanted back home, how much we love them, we miss them. They are our hearts. And who I have prayed every day, and there's not 1 minute that goes by that I don't think about these boys. And I have prayed that whoever has them,
Listen to
the
the
Lord
tone.
would let him realize that they are missed and loved more than any children in this world. And that whoever has them, I pray every day that you're taking care of them, and know that we will do anything we will to help you to get them home back to us. I just can't express it enough that we just got to get them home. That's just where they belong, with their mama and daddy. Go ahead.
I would like to take the time to plead to the American public that you please do not give up on these two little boys in the search
God, so sad.
for their return safe home to us.
He's got his arm around the killer.
For this car, these two, our children, and for the suspect himself, that you continue to keep your eyes open, and anything that you see,
I bet, Brett.
that might would help to please
Sent
call
shockwaves.
and let it be known.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure though.
That you continue to pray for me and my wife and for our family. But most of all, that you continue to pray for the
Absolutely,
American public.
CJK.
Continue to pray for Michael and Alex, that they are returned home safely to their mother and father and the family members who love them so much. That you pray most of
Me
all
too,
for
War.
them, and that they are being taken care of, and that they are safe, and that they will return home safely.
Jesus.
I want to say to my babies that your mama loves you so much, and your daddy, this whole family's love you so much.
She's a horrible
And you
actor.
guys have got to
actress.
be strong, because you are. I just know, I just feel in my heart that you're okay, but you got to take care of each other. And your mom and dad are going to be right here waiting on you when you get home.
Yep, me too,
I
Loxy.
love you so much.
It's like it's like we're watching an interview with Chris Watts. It's like the same soulless energy. Like there's no God there at all. It's just pure evil.
I want to tell a story. The night that this happened, before I left my house that night, Michael did something that he's never done before. He had his pooper in his mouth, and he came up to me and he took his pooper out.
So like the
He
binky?
put his arms around me, and he told me, "I love you so much, Mama."
I don't believe that this happened.
And he's always told me he loved me, but never before that. Not without me telling him first, and that was just, I'm holding on to that so much because it just means so much.
Absolutely, Julia.
I love him. I just can't express enough. I
What's up,
have
Frank?
been to the Lord in prayers every day with my family and by myself with my husband. It just seems so unfair that somebody could take such two beautiful children.
The way she just keeps talking like this is like you just sound like you're full of shit. And the fake tears. It's like the world knew that she was lying. The world knew. The husband, he's brokenhearted and in denial, has no clue. He probably knows that something's off with her, but he probably expects that she's struggling as well. But I mean, he has his arm around the devil.
And I don't understand. I have put all my trust and faith in the Lord that He's taking care of them.
Perfect
that He
example.
will bring them home to us. That's all. I can't promise anything else.
Good luck, yo. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll answer a few questions now.
Margaret, what did you find out that the lead was not going to be as promising as the first look when you got here?
We found out when we first arrived.
And was the report to you initially of a live sighting?
It is our understanding that was the case.
When did you first hear that there was good news?
That came early this morning in a phone call to the house.
What time, Margaret?
I believe around 6:30 this morning.
What was Susan and David's reaction to that?
I agree with that,
As
Charles.
Sheriff Wells explained to us, he was extremely encouraged by the lead that he received this morning, and it certainly gave us a lot of hope to hang on to.
Yeah, Netflix just put out a brand new documentary on the JonBenet Ramsey case. I watched the first part of it this morning. It was really well put together, very informative. But that's another one of those cases that, you just don't know what the hell's. It's so weird. It's hard to put it together. Yeah, we should cover that case again.
I do understand why they're having to do what they're doing. I'm all they have. Right now, they have not been able to rule anyone out. I don't think I'm any more of a suspect than anyone in this case right now.
It's very painful to know that anyone would think that either of us had anything to do with this abduction of our children. But me and my wife know the truth.
God, that poor man. I mean, you can't even begin to understand what he's gone through. She ruined his life too. She killed him. He's like a zombie, I bet. I know I would be. It's Mr. Frank Meister to you. That was funny.
Thank you. We're going to make a brief announcement. There will be no questions answered after the statement. The statement is it. Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children, Michael 3 and Alexander 14 months. The vehicle, a 1990 Mazda, driven by Smith, was located late Thursday afternoon in Lake John D. Long near Union. 2 bodies were found in the vehicle's back seat. Identities are pending an autopsy. Charges against Smith will be signed by Union County Sheriff Howard Wells. 16th Circuit Solicitor Thomas Pope said Thursday a bond hearing will be held at 10 a.m. at the Moss Justice Center in York before Circuit Judge Henry Floyd. Smith is incarcerated at an undisclosed location.
Did she confess? Did she tell you where the car was, Sheriff?
You have been listening to Sheriff Howard Wells giving us a statement, certainly confirming what we've been reporting throughout the night. Carol, Susan Smith killed both her children, apparently. We have heard that she has confessed to that. You heard it from the sheriff just a moment ago there with great emotion. You may have heard the emotion from the crowd when we learned just a few moments ago that the car has been found and the 2 small children, 2 bodies found in the back seat of the car. Of course, not the news we wanted to hear, not the news anyone here wanted to hear. The crowd beginning to disperse now, dispersing in shock. A lot of the people here, bear in mind, could not hear what I was saying because of the press of reporters and cameras. They have been waiting for the news that we've been reporting to you via television all night. When they heard that news tonight, you heard that chorus of shock, a chorus of sheer dismay. Just wave right over the crowd. Carol, back to you.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's talking to my wife for a minute.
Back up!
That's when they pulled the vehicle out of the water.
There it is. In the front?
Absolutely, Miss Dog. She's a horrible actress. Phony ass liar. That makes me sick too. And then the fact that she blamed it on a black man. What a piece of shit she is. Scrub report. Thank you, Sparky. All right, if you guys are in, if you could hit that like button. Don't forget to share the video as well. I think right now we're going to get into the drawing. So this is what I want you guys to do. If you're okay with sending me your address, because once you win the drawing, the way that you claim your prize is you're going to send me an email. It's going to contain your address in there. And then that's how we verify our winner. So go ahead and type this in the chat if you're okay with those rules. So in capital letters, this is what I want you guys to type in the chat. Now remember, hold on. This is what the drawing is for. Sleuth. Sorry, microphone's in the way. So I only have extra large right now. Okay, so go ahead and type this in the chat in all caps, just like I did there. Count me in. And I'll start adding your names to the wheel. Now remember, in order to win, once it lands on your name, I need you guys to email me right away with your address. And then that's how we know the drawing is over. And I have 2 t-shirts that were purchased on sleuthintuition.com. I'm mailing those out today, so I'll mail yours out right along with theirs. So let me open up the Google spin wheel. That was weird. Okay, just bear with me. I'm adding your guys' names right now. Julia Burns, Sparky, Shane Considine, Melissa Wildcard, War Kittens, Susie, Necessary. Oops. Need to separate those. Necessary Evil. Blood Running. I think that's bitch. Phil Bond. Butterfly. She's my butterfly. Already got you on there, Bogey. And if you already did it once, don't do it again. Cindy. Big Fish. Well, I guess I can put it in alphabetical order, and if I see any duplicates, I can just remove them. All right, already got you, Melissa. Nicely done. What's up, Blind Squirrel? Squirrel Master. Okay, who else? Delulu. Wanda from Missouri. Okay, I think that's it. All right, let me put these in alphabetical order. Make sure I don't have any duplicates on here. So I got Big Fish, Blind Squirrel, Blood Running, Bogey, Green Street, Butterfly, Cindy, Delulu, Julia Burns, Melissa Wildcard, Miss Doglover, Mustang, Necessary Evil, Nicely Done, Phil Bond, Shane Considine, Sharon Parker, Sparky, Susie, Wanda from Missouri, War Kittens, and YouTube Bad Actors. All right. If I missed you, we'll give it another minute. If you guys are okay with sending me your mailing address, because it's going to be hard for me to send you a hoodie if I don't have a mailing address. So that's how you're going to claim your prize. You're going to email me at sleuthintuition.com. This is only an extra large. So I already have it in a package. All I have to do is write your address on it and ship it out. It's going to look identical to this. I just got these in. I really like these. It says Sleuth Crew, we're everywhere. Because we are. So if you're interested and you're okay with emailing me your mailing address to claim the prize, go ahead and type in capital letters, count me in. What's up, Big Country? Good to see you. There you go. So we'll give it another minute to join the drawing. Just go ahead and type in capital letters, count me in. And then once we land on your name and you win, you'll need to email me within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And the email just needs to say winner in the topic and your mailing address in the email. And then you officially won. And I'll actually send it out today with the other t-shirts that are going out. Big Country says count me in. Okay. So we got Big Country 48. We have Copper Horse. Hey, Jerry. There you are. Statler Mayo. Here's my email address, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. So if we land on your name, you need to email me right away. Because once we roll again, that's it. And there's no giving away your win. If you want this, whether it fits you or not, you can give it away as a gift, whatever. But only accept it if you're willing to provide the mailing address. That way you don't take away from somebody else. And then we're going to do another drawing next week when the darker gray hoodies come in. And I have a couple in XXL too. So if you guys are just joining us and you would like to enter in the drawing to win a Sleuth Crew, we're everywhere, extra large, black with white logo hoodies. And it will ship today. We are going to the post office to send out 2 other t-shirts that were purchased on the sleuthintuition.com website. So all you have to do is type in capital letters in the chat, count me in. You have to be willing to send me your mailing address within 2 minutes of your name being selected. Because I can't send you a hoodie unless I have your mailing address. Thank you, Sparky. And there it is, sleuthintuition@gmail.com to claim your prize. Grizmatically Clever, welcome in. Let's go ahead and add Grizz on there. Okay, so we have Big Country 48, Big Fish, Blind Squirrel, Blood Running, Bogey, Green Street, Butterfly, Cindy, Copper Horse, Delulu, Jerry, Grismatically Clever, Julia Burns, Melissa Wildcard, Miss Dog Lover, Mustang, Necessary Evil, Nicely Done, Phil Bond, Shane, Considine, Sharon Parker, Sparky, Susie, Wanda from Missouri, War Kittens, YouTube Bad Actors. If you would like to enter in to the drawing and I missed your name, make sure you let me know now. Because we are getting ready to spin the wheel. We'll spin the wheel. We'll wait 2 minutes for the email. If we don't get an email from you in 2 minutes that says winner and with a shipping or shipping address, we'll spin it again. All right, I think this is good. I think we're good, guys. Let's go ahead and shuffle these names up a couple times. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Melissa says, good luck. Oh, we got BN Mama. Let's go back in here. We got one more. Remember, this is your last chance. Let's go ahead and add BN Mama. Shuffle it up a little bit. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. BN Mama sliding in. All right. Going once. Going twice. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, guys, here we go. Remember, no whammies. No whammies. Oh, Blind Squirrel. Blind Squirrel is the winner. All right, we'll hang out for about 2 minutes. Hopefully we will get that email from Blind Squirrel. If not, we'll spin it again. Congratulations, Blind Squirrel. You have 2 minutes to claim your prize. I'll be looking out for an email titled winner with the shipping address included. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Congratulations, Blind Squirrel. So go ahead and send that email as soon as you possibly can. So right now we have a winner, Blind Squirrel. Remember, next week we're going to be doing another giveaway. Might give away a hoodie and a t-shirt. Okay, so make sure, Blind Squirrel, you send me that email that contains your shipping address. Got 2 minutes. And the clock is ticking. And if you've sent the email, go ahead and let me know in the chat. You got it. It's always good to see you, Phil. So we're just hanging tight, waiting on the email. And Blind Squirrel, if you're here and you've already sent the email, let me know in the chat. All right, you guys, it's official. We have a winner. Blind, we'll get that out to you today. That'll go out today, guys. So congratulations. Sorry to all of you who weren't so lucky today, but you'll get another opportunity next week. So congratulations to Blind Squirrel. That'll go out today for you. Let's give an extra big shout out to Miss Dog Lover, one of our sponsors today with the super chat. Copper Horse, very generous as always. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome back to the Sleuth crew. YouTube Bad Actors, I'll get you that Discord. I'll do it right after the live stream here. I'll keep it, no rush on it. It'll expire in 2 days. Just want to make sure we get you in there. And welcome as well, War Kittens. Glad to have you. All right, Blind Squirrel, congratulations. Everybody else, Wednesday we'll be covering the Florida fires. So make sure you guys are there and make sure you're present. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thanks for hanging out here on the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out, guys.